In previous section, I used a simple tunnel that has a source and destination defined, and I changed the tunnel mode to IPv6 IP, and this was the way I could route the packets of IPv6 between the two segments here. Now you can change the IPv6 IP to GRE IP, and the only difference between these two is the protocol number that they use to transmit their packets. Now in this section I want to select a 6 to 4 tunneling that is kind of dynamic multi-point VPN, and I want to configure the tunnel between router 2 and router 3 again. So let's go to router 2, and first of all I want to see the interface list. Show IP interfaces brief tells me that there is a tunnel 23 that I want to remove it. So no interface tunnel 23 here, and on router 3 I should do the same, no interface tunnel 23. Now let's go back to router 2. The first thing that I want to do is to define interface tunnel 23 with the source of tunnel source is going to be loopback 0. Now again, you should make sure that when you are sourcing the tunnel from loopback interfaces, the loopback interfaces are reachable. So tunnel source is loopback 0, and I don't need to I don't need to specify the tunnel destination because the tunnel destination is figured out automatically. So tunnel mode is going to be IPv6 IP, and 6 to 4 is assigned here so that this is an automatic tunnel. So after this you can see that the tunnel is coming up, and it will take a little while, but after a moment I should see that yes, that's it. Now you can see that the tunnel is working just fine. Now I can assign an IPv6 address to this tunnel. So IPv6 address, I'm going to assign IPv6 address based on loopback interface. You can see that the interface IPv6 at the IPv4 address is 110.122. And first of all, you need to start the IPv6 address with 2002, and after that you can convert this IPv4 address into hexadecimal. And for this I need to start calculator. I'm sorry for the yes, 110 is going to be 6e in hexadecimal, so this is the first octet, 6e. The second octet is 1, so it is going to be 01 and a colon. After that the third octet is 2, that is a 02, and the fourth octet is 2, so this is going to be 02 again. And I'm going to assign 0 for the next part. You can see that this makes about 48 bits of 128 bits. You can have subnet ID after this. I'm not going to assign a subnet ID, or the subnet ID you can assume that this is 0, and the rest of the IPv6 address is going to be 0 for my IPv6, so I type in 128 bit here, and this is the tunnel configuration. Show run interface tunnel 23. You can see the whole configuration here. So no IP address, no IP redirects, nothing here, but the tunnel mode, that is the most important thing, is 6 to 4. So I can copy this configuration and go to router 3. Of course I need another line of configuration. I will come back and configure it. Interface tunnel 23, tunnel source is loopback 0, tunnel mode is IPv6 IP, and 64 after that. And of course IPv6 address is going to be 2002, and again 110 is going to be 6e, 1 is going to be 01, and 33 is going to be 0303, and /2128. You can see that the rest of the IPv6 address is going to be zeros, all zeros. So I hit enter. Now I have this, and let's go back to router 2. I need one line of command here to start sending the packets, and that's specifying a static route for the IPv6. So IPv6 route is going to be like this. Anything that goes to 2002 colon slash 16 should be directed to tunnel 23. The same command should be on the other end of the tunnel, and that's it. And now that's it. Everything is configured like this. So let's go back to interface. For example, pass 0, 0, or let's create it. For example, interface loopback. For example, 64 for 624 actually. I want to have IPv6 address of 2002. Anything in this range is going to be used for 64 addressing. So 2004 to I want to assign the same subnet here, and I'm going to have, for example, 64 as a subnet ID, double colon, for example, 64 at the end of this, and /128, that is the IPv6 address, and it tells me that this is incomplete command. What do I need next? IPv6 prefix. I have assigned IPv6 prefix here, but this is a mistake that I have made. After 202 I have put 2 colons. That is incorrect, so that's it. Now if I go to the other side from router 3, for example, and try to ping this using ping this IPv6 address, you can see that this is successful. And if you want to trace it, you can see that the trace is going through tunnel 23, and that's the successful tunneling that is dynamically created after this.